Hello and welcome to the Living World of Darkness, Changeling the Dreaming Venue. Today's scene takes place at the county freehold, where the political climate has been changing with the death of Count Maldacet. His wife is packing up her stuff and getting ready to leave. She feels no need to stay any longer, and so there are boxes here and there in various states of packing in the large freehold. But Amber's been invited to keep company, not with the Countess, but with one of the brand new barons, his interloper from California, Baron Leon, who is waiting for her to arrive. He'll be kind of lounging under a tree in front of the freehold.
All right. Yeah,
He's Amber a big cat.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Amber's gonna show up probably in like her business casual clothes. She is carrying a bag with her that, I mean, it looks like it was meant for wine, but it's probably being repurposed for something else. But she's also wearing a little button that has her campaign sort of like a miniaturized version of her campaign poster, because she probably forgot to take it off on her way here. And when she sees, is he just like sprawled out somewhere, or is he like in a chair?
No, he's like sitting under a tree, just imagine like very Disney oafish kind of thing, like, you know, the one leg propped up, the other one stretched all the way out, hands behind his head.
I see.
Spring.
So,
what the weather's like in New York right now.
It's not horrible. Okay. I'm in a sweatshirt, and it was raining before, but it's no longer raining. So yeah, not horrible. Okay. Amber will go over and just stand in front of him and be like, I wasn't planning on a picnic, but do you mind if I join you?
And he'll lazily reach an arm out to her. Feel free to have a seat, mon chéri.
Are you continuing that with him?
What?
Are you continuing the unable to pronounce French things with Leon?
Pretty much. No Pooka can pronounce French. It's canon. I feel mostly because I feel like an asshole when I put on the accent to attempt to pronounce things correctly, like mon chéri. You know, you can assume whatever.
So she'll sit down next to him and pull out of the bag. It's in like a mason jar because we're not fancy here. It looks like blueberry punch, but it's also got like strawberries in it. And she'll hand it over to him and be like, "It's my newest creation for the election coming up. I thought you might want to sample it."
Ah. And he'll unscrew the lid and give it like the swish around the glass for a moment. And he'll take a sip. Tastes like freedom, he says. With kind
Excellent.
Of a smirk.
That's just what I was going for.
He like makes a snapping sound, and like off in the distance you see like a little boggin, nebbishy boggin, who like sees this snapping gesture and like runs off.
Oh.
The food will be out here in a moment.
Oh, so someone did prepare for a picnic. I just didn't get the memo.
I like to fly by the seat of my pants.
I have never seen a flying lion, but
What? Have you never seen the Chronicles of Narnia? We're known for our flying abilities.
oh yes, I had forgotten. Or perhaps suppressed it.
Yes, people can't quite handle the fact that lions can jump 36 feet. I don't know. You've seen the meme, right?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Like vertically.
Yeah. So you're participating in this new government?
I am. She does like looking around, being like, "I did someone forget to tell me?"
Don't you think that it's going to be just so tedious, all the paperwork and management required being part of the scrutinized political parties?
Oh, I've certainly never managed anything before in my life. Never had to deal with paperwork before.
He gives a smile. Well, perhaps you'll be better suited than some of the others.
I also certainly haven't had to work as a team player before ever in my life.
Well, at least they're spreading the responsibility over many, many shoulders. You know, more cooks make a better broth.
I haven't heard that one, but I suppose.
He's going to continue lounging. He sips at this blueberry punch and strawberry. The boggin will like hurry towards them, like starting to break a sweat because he's moving so quickly. And like, he has like a little blanket rolled up and over his shoulder and like a basket of food.
Oh, let me help with that.
Oh, no, ma'am. I got it.
Are you sure?
He's just like, yes, he's just like, just one moment. And he's like throwing the blanket out. Like Leon will lift his feet so that he can put the blanket underneath him, and he sets the basket down. If you need anything else, just give a holler. And he like runs off, and he doesn't like go completely away. He just goes back to his previous like vantage point. That's
lovely, efficient fellow.
That's Barry. He followed me here. He insists on being a help. And who am I to deny somebody's motivations?
Of course. How selfless of you.
It works.
I'm just gonna look in the picnic basket and start setting up like plates, and if there's silverware, I don't know if there's silverware.
Yeah, there'll be plates and cutlery, like bottled fresh pressed juice and fried chicken and like
Ooh.
yeah. It's Leon has relatively simple tastes for his fancy schmancy name. But yeah, it'll like actual casual picnic fare though, like fried chicken and potato salad.
Yum.
Rolls. So,
Yes.
so yeah, and as you set out the plates, Leon will pull out the food and start serving. You know, he's not going to be ungentlemanly.
Oh, important question. Is he wearing a shirt?
No,
Awesome.
he's having time off today. Shirts are for work.
Got it. No matter how cold it is, I mean, it's not super cold again, but still, it's not quite shirtless weather.
He's kind of a douche.
Really, I hadn't noticed.
Aw.
I love him. Okay. Amber will grab I guess whatever he's putting on the plate, and she'll say, "Did Barry make all of this? This looks delicious."
He looks at it and, I don't know. Barry just does what Barry does. I generally don't follow him around as he runs his little errands and stuff. So, how have you been? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Dreadful. Thank you for asking. I've been I don't know if you've seen any of my posters. I only hung up a few, so I doubt you have. um or if you've heard of any of our events, considering that's in closer to where I am, but we are spreading out just a little bit. I've been more concerned with my public image than I ever have been.
I can't imagine your image suffering for anything. Your beauty itself.
You are too kind. I don't know if beauty is going to win an election, but we'll see.
If your beauty fails you, you can always fall back on your impeccable charm.
That is what I am counting on.
And he gives that smile again. So what are you hoping to do in the barony? Council, I think is what it said on the posters, right?
Oh, I don't know what I put on the poster, but yes, for council. I intend to, given what I've heard from the people that I've spoken to, prioritize safety, equality, and communication. Those are my buzzwords that I've chosen.
Excellent buzzwords. I often find that using things that rhyme is a good way to get people to rally behind you. You know, we fight for our life because previous rulers were nothing but strife, that kind of thing.
That is catchy. I'm nowhere near creative enough to come up with something that rhymes.
Of course, not a creative bone in your body, he says as he sips at the drink she brought.
I don't suppose you've heard any interesting things about the upcoming election?
Just casual gossip here and there. A lot of the gossip here has been about my own predicament. But I hear that Blue Boy, he's the one who kicked old Izzy out of his seat. He's making himself real comfortable in a cell in the dungeons. I haven't really heard too much about the council. I did notice that there's a she going up against a boggin for governor.
Something you don't see every day.
especially when the girl abandons her house. My house.
I don't suppose you have any opinions on that.
Of course not. It makes more room for me, he says. But the face is like very like I'm very disappointed in her
Yeah.
choices. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll just turn this entire house into nothing but commoner kits.
I was why why not limit yourself? Why not I was thinking about perhaps just Pooka.
Hmm. Well, we are the most diverse branch of the Cathane.
Precisely.
I think we could do it, and we'd still be equal opportunity. I'll bring it up at the next meeting, he says.
Excellent. But you were saying something about your predicament?
Mm-hmm. When Maldesat kicked it, he didn't exactly name an heir, which leaves me and the butterfly kid uh, sort of splitting hairs over who's going to step up. And rumor has it that Maldesec's little boy might go for a promotion as well. Not quite sure how well that'll go over. The optics aren't great, you know?
Oh, of course. Uh, government changes all around.
Mm. Does seem to be the season for it, doesn't it? Takes another sip. Far off stare as he says it.
Well, you'd think it would be a no-brainer considering, king of the jungle and everything, but not everyone might see it that way.
I try to show that I am a fair and just leader. I listen to the people. I respond to their requests and their suggestions. For instance, this whole business with unleashing in Washington Square Park. You're familiar with what happened, right?
Oh, I was nowhere near that, she says, crossing her scarred legs.
Ah, it's a good thing that you were nowhere near that. I'd hate to think of you anywhere near animatronic explosions. He says with like sarcastic air quotes.
Right.
But I was there for both of the sentencings of the two who unleashed in front of mortals. And well, Mary and I we we switched off for the respective defendants.
You have experience as a defense attorney?
Oh, I was acting as judge, not defense attorney. But I don't think anybody could reasonably have any objections to the sentence I delivered.
Right, I definitely don't know anyone who has any objections. Certainly not anyone who might have wanted one of those sentenced to participate in a duel for them.
Oh, I would love to hear more. Please elaborate.
Just something I overheard. You know how gossip is.
Mhm.
A certain Ram Pooka, I think is what we're calling him. Wanted one of his more combat-oriented friends to participate in the duel for him, but given her sentencing, uh, kind of threw that plan out the window. So he had to choose a seal Pooka instead.
Ah, the red cap girl and her witness. Strange that he objects to that. In an effort to be fair, after all I'd heard of the injustices delivered by our fairer brethren, he says, and like makes the gesture of like long pointy she ears. um, I, I did my best to make sure that the justice was fair and agreeable.
I'm sure you did, and this Rampuka is not known for having moderate views.
It's a shame. It's really a shame. Now, it's I probably shouldn't be discussing this, but I'm sure you won't tell, he says with a smile. But when that girl came in for sentencing, I mean, I know it's her, she's a repeat offender, but I wanted to throw her a bone, and so I asked her friend, and I do believe they are in the same motley, so who better would choose a just and fair punishment for her friend? And it wasn't me who came up with this sentencing. I asked, and then I delivered. I can't say the same for my flittering counterpart and the boy with the diamond teeth. What's his name?
The church Pooka.
He kind of quirks an eyebrow. We come in church varieties now. Huh,
Apparently.
amazing. You learn something new every day. Yes, I think he got off rather light considering, well, he should know better. He is a knight after all, and sworn to a house and sworn to the service of this city. He should have been much more prudent in his behavior. And his sentencing was lighter than the redcaps. He sips.
But that's none of my business. Sips tea.
I'm trying to trigger that curiosity.
Oh, I mean, it's working. It's working. And we're just going to consider that for a moment and be like, there's a word for that in American politics when I'm forgetting it right now, but it's when those that should be held to a higher standard are actually given immunity.
Mm.
But no one was quite thinking straight at the point that it happened, and I know crimes of passion are also considered separately, but I am no defense attorney either.
Well, it's smack to me of Kith favoritism. You know, they tend to band together.
There have been incidents similar in the past.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. I think the transcript read something along the lines of I can't make everybody happy, so I'm going to make nobody happy. Whatever happened to that guy?
Could you repeat the first part? That I heard the last part. The I can't make everyone happy. But the first part.
I can't make everybody happy. So I'm going to make nobody happy. He's referencing the sentencing of Dax.
Yes.
That very popular sentencing of Dax.
Yes, absolutely. Amber will shrug and say, "I can only hope he has fared better than another who was sentenced not in a court. My one true love."
He gives a raise of the eyebrow. Please elaborate.
You haven't heard my one true love, Sir Carol.
I don't know any knights by that name, no.
He met his unfortunate demise. Have you seen the gorgeous statue that he left behind?
He thinks for a moment. That thing in the Manhattan freehold?
Very same.
That's a person?
I desperately hope it is not currently a person.
And who's responsible for that?
And Amber will just like squint for a second and be like, I don't suppose it would be any sort of I don't suppose it would be someone who was part of a house that valued hospitality and would take very unkindly to it if someone were to slight them in such a way. Certainly not any church Pooka.
So he's getting off especially light these days, considering he shows such disregard for his superiors.
I haven't seen him recently. What exactly happened? How is he faring?
Well, we haven't heard back from him either, but the little Aglil girl has been absolutely annoying in singing the virtues of somebody completing his contract. He says, and just kind of like puts his fingers at his temples about this girl that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And his sentencing was something along the lines of a single act of mercy. I can only imagine what loophole he managed to find. He doesn't exactly strike me as the merciful sort.
No, I don't. I wouldn't agree.
So, yeah, like I said, Kith favoritism.
I don't imagine this is any sort of campaign on your part either.
Well, I don't see that they need to be mutually exclusive, do you, dear?
Well, considering you're not being elected by a democracy.
No, but it's still... Leadership is much more effective when you have the confidence of the people, at least in my experience, as minute and limited as it is.
For what it's worth, I think if it was going on beauty, as you suggested, ours does, I would, it would be, he would have no chance.
Oh, you're going to make me blush, my dear. And he gives her like a smile and a wink. I think the way this thing is going, we're going to end up... He gives this kind of tired look. We're going to have some sort of tournament.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, none of this dueling crap. It's a little old fashioned. Not that tournaments are much better, but at least nobody's sticking swords in each other.
Oh, so you won't be jousting?
Maybe later if you're feeling up to it. I'll show you my lance.
Well, I've learned a thing or two from William, considering he's a horseback riding instructor.
Hmm. Yeah, we can go for a ride.
What are your other skills that you'd imagine you'd compete for in a tournament other than jousting?
Well, traditionally everyone competing, every faction competing would bring forth their own challenge, wits or strength, something along those lines. Although if the boy comes in, that just brings in more everything, really. More people vying for the position, more people competing, more hearts won in the long run. I don't know. I don't feel like rubbing shoulders with the higher ups. I've always thought of myself as more of a people person, a commoner's man.
I'd say that's an accurate description in comparison.
Well, what has Mariposa done?
Amber will raise an eyebrow.
He once again sips at the drink. We're going to have to find people to champion our cause, because these things tend to have multiple competitions. Well, let's just say she wouldn't fare well in a battle of strength against me, and well, I guess she has her strengths as well, he says, kind of sneering. So, while it may not be democracy, it is still sort of left up to the people. Who do you want representing you?
Oh, myself.
Yes, but chain of command is an ugly necessity, my dear.
It is. It is.
So, just think of it. You as the council on the Council of Brooklyn, getting to rub shoulders with me more often. I think we could have a lot of fun.
Oh, sounds dreadful.
Well, maybe occasionally we can take some time off of the mundane life that is work and take in the sights. He says, and he starts doing that like really broad stretch.
Just lower that eyebrow and just nod. I here's hoping.
He's going to look in the basket and he pulls out a glass and he'll pour her some of the fresh squeezed juice. You look thirsty.
Me? Thirsty? Since when? She says, taking the glass.
So how can I help you in your efforts? Or
I
rather, what do you want? Or tell me what you want.
I want a great many things. Where shall I start?
List them all and I'll see how I can accommodate.
Well, I would love a beach house. Uh, I would love gorgeous shoes that could perhaps make me move a little bit faster, a gorgeous headband that could help me calm people better, and I don't know. I'm thinking about getting a dog for the apartment, but I don't quite know uh, how myself or Vivi would get along with it. So perhaps a cat would be better. We're not quite sure. We're not home very often either, so perhaps we should just stick with the fish.
He boops her
Oh,
on the
and a
nose
franchise.
because she's rambling. So, a beach house, some shoes, some headgear, and a cat dog.
Perfect.
I may have meant something closer along the lines of how can I help you in your political aspirations, but I guess I should
Ah,
have clarified.
yes,
Um,
perhaps you should have. Well, I was hoping that simply by establishing a good rapport with you, that would help convince people that I was, even though I have few experience with government aside from student council government, I have some political experience, and she'll go into just her purse and pull out some flyers and be like, I haven't been able to hang these up in freeholds yet, but so I wasn't quite sure the protocol for doing something like that. I know there are many laws against posting these sort of things in private places.
well, our rules aren't exactly in line with New York City's, but I'm sure if you ask around, you'll be shown nothing but doors. Uh,
Excellent.
um, I'll tell you what. You tell me something that you think would make the people of Brooklyn happy, and I will make sure it gets done in your name. And it'll serve both of us. It'll show that I'm listening to the people, and it'll show that you can get things done with your winning personality.
She puts down the fork that she was eating from and she says, uh, anything?
Well, as long as it isn't a dragon from Taranar, I think it can be managed.
I do know a couple, but no, that I doubt that would make the entirety of Brooklyn happy. If you were to, my first thought, uh, my first thought is for the immediate safety of Brooklyn's inhabitants, and I suppose it would mean the inhabitants of most of the boroughs, but uh, the issue of the ranters is the most prominent one, I believe.
Mm.
I do know someone who might be wanting to take care of that himself, but any sort of assistance, perhaps.
Well, I have my men that followed me here from Sonoma Valley, my personal guard. I can send them along with you. And he starts like kicking off his boots. Not quite sure if these will fit the feet of the individual you are talking about, I do have some rather petite feet. And he holds them up. They are not petite. They're big old man feet.
Do they have toe beans?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
But he hands over these like suede like calf high boots that like almost swashbuckler kind of
I love
boots,
it.
you know. Very, very nice. And they are a treasure. um he looks at Amber's feet. They might be a little much for you, but I'm sure if you rolled up some socks, even you could make use of these.
And I assume this is a loner.
Mm.
I'll bring them back polished.
Oh, you don't polish suede, dear.
Oh, well, I will not bring them back polished.
He realizes he's just backed himself into like one of those Pooka corners. Like, wait. Whatever's happening, don't polish the boots. um, he gives a smile. Well, depending on who's wearing them. Maybe I'd like to see you strutting around in them sometime for me, but if they're being loaned out to a third party, then yes. Perhaps we start out with just a loan.
It seems entirely reasonable, and this one thing that I will say is that this this person who I'm planning on who I'm planning on assisting, I don't know if he will. He'll probably accept my assistance, but he'll be concerned. Might not be the happiest that you're helping, but that's something that I hope could help mend your relationship.
Well, you don't have to tell him until after the situation has been resolved. I'm sure it'll ensure his willingness to use the item, and afterwards you'll feel such relief that he won't even care where it came from. I'm gonna, by the way, he's like really trying to sell that. So I'm gonna roll some manipulation over here.
Go ahead. You're rolling against my what?
I think it would be perception empathy.
So then my score is 7.
Yeah. Ooh, we're both rolling 7. Huzzah. Let me just open it up in Discord real quick. Do-do-do. Oof. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Would you count? I don't think I count approachable for this, right?
No, it's because it's a perception thing.
Yeah. It's like difficulty of your empathy rolls, but like who knows? And insight.
Insight, yes.
Okay, so I don't actually know if this will make him explode or not, but I also have 3.
Oh, she had 4, or he had 4.
Oh, he had 4. So
yeah,
yes,
it may
seems
not
convincing.
Yeah, convincing enough anyway. It's not the completely like, oh, of course I'm drinking the Leon Kool-Aid, but it seems like a earnest enough suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. And she'll nod at that and say, "Where shall I tell him I got the men from?"
He seems to be a fan of the Countess. Just tell him they came from the county.
that wouldn't quite be a lie, right?
It skirts the truth enough to suit our purposes. And he gives her a a really broad, mischievous grin. Sometimes people need to hear untruths for their own best interests. And who better than our kith knows that?
She'll just give like a little nod and sort of put the boots up against her own feet and sort of measure the size difference.
Do you need me to put you in touch with my shoemaker?
I wouldn't say no.
He snaps his fingers. And Barry, yeah, Barry like just starts doing his little boggin shuffle. Amber, my cobbler. And Barry just like wipes the sweat off his brow because he was running from quite a ways off.
Oh, you made these lovely shoes that I shouldn't polish.
He just like he has that look like don't polish the boots. He's gonna like start reaching into his pockets and he will pull out like a tape measure. He's like, if you'll take your shoes off, I can get to a measurement real quick, ma'am.
Oh, I was going to ask how much for a commission, but yes, I guess you would need to measure my feet for that.
And he nods and he's just he like kneels and like waits for her foot. If
yeah, she'll take off her shoes. She's wearing flats.
Yeah, and he'll start measuring and like write down like the measurements and stuff. And he's like, did you want a boot as well, or did you want something more athletic?
She's going to go into her phone and pull up this picture of her garish prom shoes. Like, they don't have to be exactly like this. I could actually give these to you if you wanted to use them. But if there was, I don't know, I think I'm more suited to running in heels.
He just gives like a head tilt. He's talking to Leon. He's like, all right, so flats then?
And she'll just smile and be like, I think I should put my trust in the shoemaker.
And he's like, please do. And he goes to like he measures around her ankle and like midway up her calf as well, and he writes down those measurements. And like he stands up and Leon gives like a he's like, oh right, and he runs off because he was lingering too long.
Oh, I was going to okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk to Barry? He raises his hand to snap again to bring.
No. Just I wanted. He didn't get a chance to tell me what the price of commission was.
And Leon gives her a wink. He's like, consider it a gift from a seasoned politician to a newcomer.
I get 2 pairs of shoes out of this. This is you're too kind.
Well, those seem like they'll make your feet tired after a while. He's probably a bit taller than her, so like knee-high boots and their calf-high boots on him are probably right. Like thigh-high on her. And
yep. Which, I mean, honestly, those are nice. But if they're a bit huge.
Yeah. He's a lion.
Yes, yes.
And, he puts his hand down so he doesn't summon Barry again.
This is more than I could have asked for. Thank you. Is there uh perhaps anything I could do for you?
All I want is your good favor, he says with a wink and a smirk.
My good favor is not this hard to get.
Ah, yes, but
My good favor once lost perhaps is this hard to get, but you have not done anything so far.
I consider it an investment between kithmates and equally ambitious paramours of etc etc. As losing interest in his own pompous speech halfway through.
Well, I know nothing about investments, so I understand.
Hopefully this will be the start of a beautiful relationship. I know that as the proprietor of a popular establishment, your favor is worth more than people will give you credit for.
That's very kind of you. I like to think so, but once Vixen franchises, perhaps that will be more accurate.
Go in and get the kit meal.
I hadn't thought of that actually. That's genius.
Yes.
Have you
I
ever
can't wait to
considered
see
a
the
career
toys.
as a creative director?
Oh, I'm not that creative. And yeah. He finally finishes the drink that she brought and puts the lid back on the jar. Did you want to keep this?
I have many. If you have some special attachment to it.
Oh, I would be honored to hold this small token of a maiden's affection. He says, well, gently handing her the
Yeah,
jar back.
I was assuming so. She was getting out the bag to wrap it up.
Is there anything else you need to discuss? That's not him. That's me.
Oh, I mean, she's because it's Amber. She's gonna be asking him like what he's doing later. If he seems interested in doing anything, but like if he's not, then like she's not gonna take it personally or anything.
Oh, he's he is. He'll be like, of course. Have you ever gone to a walk in the gardens here? It's great for setting the mood.
Oh, I have no idea what sort of mood that might be, but it sounds lovely.
He'll offer her like the crook of his arm. Well, it's a great place to be wild.
She'll take his arm.
So I guess that's where we can, with that sort of like fade to ambiguous black of
Yes. With him walking barefoot.
yes, and walking. It's like he's an animal.
Yeah, okay, I get it, but like still in the gray world, it's a little bit like that man doesn't have a shirt or shoes.
Yeah, he's also like huge and probably has spent a lot of his time barefoot and shirtless.
So this is normal.
Yeah, he's it may be a little cold, but that just makes that It just means he's not sweaty.
Right.
He's not dewy. But yeah, he's like, if Amber seems cold, he'll offer to like, I'll warm you up, that kind of thing.
Of course, of course.
Yes.
That's nothing less.
He doesn't have a coat, and that means offering to warm up isn't a
No, I got that.
yeah. It works for him. He's ridiculous. So Leon put on a shirt, keep your shoes on.
You don't have to put on a shirt.
Excellent. So this is where we'll end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hold on.